I'm here with Henry Garza. The date is May 24th, 2019, and we're at my house. Do you mind if I ask you any questions?
No, go ahead, ask. I'll answer.
What are the most important lessons you've learned in life?
The most important lesson I've learned in life is that no matter what you do in the past, it doesn't matter. As long as you're doing good now and in the future.
Do you have any children?
Yes.
How old are they?
27. I got 4 girls and 2 boys.
How were you as a kid when you were their age?
When I was young, well, a little boy, I was a bad kid growing up. Well, I started gangbanging at 12, so I was a kid gangbanger, if you want to say. And living my life as a little kid, just seeing my brother and my sisters in the gang and that. So yeah, my life wasn't so pretty growing up.
Did you have a favorite thing to do when you were a kid? A favorite place?
Favorite thing to do was play baseball. Yeah.
Did you like school?
A little bit. It was all right. Well, I dropped out of 7th grade, so I didn't go to school too long.
So after school, you would play baseball for school?
Yeah, I played with my friends at school. Well, back then they didn't have like teen schools. It was like grade schools didn't have baseball teams and stuff like that. So yeah, just in the street with the friends or by the park, play baseball with them.
As you grew up, did you have any jobs?
As a kid, no. I didn't start working till I was an adult. Yeah, but as a kid, I never worked.
After prison, did you have any job?
Yes, I worked in warehouses, machine operator, janitor.
Are you still a janitor or a machine operator right now?
Right now, no, I'm working for a construction company. I'm an electrician, but I do home rehab.
Do you work for your children or for yourself?
At this moment, right now, I live by myself, but I'm going to court right now and trying to get custody of my kids.
All of your children or the younger ones?
The younger ones. 3 girls and 2 girls and 2 boys. They're in foster care.
If you could give them any career or job, what would you want them to be?
I definitely want my boys to be like sports player, baseball player, or boxers. My daughters, lawyers, or anything to do with politics.
How has being a parent changed you?
Changed me for the better. I'm not gonna lie. When I first was a parent, I was still living that life, that gang lifestyle. But these last 2 years, I've changed my life around.
Did you grow up religiously or?
I think what changed me is when I hit my downfall. And my downfall was DCFS took custody of my kids and put them in foster care. And I got locked up right after that. And that's what changed my life.
Do you want your children to have the same religion or the same beliefs?
Oh yes, of course. I'm Jewish, but I'm a converted Jew. I wasn't born Jewish, but I always grew up knowing my grandfather was Jewish, my mother's dad. And my son, he's 10, I want him to do his bar mitzvah when he's 13. And my daughter, she's 11, I want her to do hers, but the girls do it when they're 12. So yeah, I want my kids to follow my religion.
Where were your parents from, your grandparents?
My mom is from Monterrey, Mexico. And my dad is from Corpus Christi, Texas.
Have you ever been to Mexico or like
when I was like 11, 12, the last time I went.
What do you think is better, Mexico or over here?
Well, Mexico's all right for vacation, but this is the land of opportunity, man. This is America. If you're gonna prosper in life, it's gonna be in this country. You could do it everywhere else, but here's it's a lot faster and a lot easier.
Do you think Chicago as a city is still the same as it was before?
As far when I was young and I was gangbanging, I'm 43 now. I started gangbanging at 12, 1989. And then in the 90s, it was bad, real bad. But it's still bad, but not like the way it was when in the 90s.
If you could change anything but...
You know, you get mayors and you got all these politicians. Oh, we're going to change the city. We're going to do this. There's not going to be no more murders. As long as there's drugs, there's always going to be violence. And I don't think we're ever going to get rid of drugs.
Would you ever change, like, if you could go back, would you...
You know, no, I wouldn't change nothing about my life because, like I said, this is the path God gave me. I've learned a lot. It made me the person who I am. I love who I am, man. I'm a good person. You know, I get looked at and people look at me like, oh, man, that guy's evil. He's mean. I'm not nothing near that. But I love who I've become. And, like, I don't regret anything I did, and I don't regret anything all the suffering I did, all the pain that I did to others and all the suffering. I've been through a lot, and I don't want to change nothing that I experienced in life. The only thing I want to change is that my kids not suffer for what I've done.
Do you think your children are going to have a better life if you change completely and you just...
I know for sure my kids are going to have a better life than I did. You know, but you can only guide your kids to do right. You know, but I pray to God 3 times a day that my kids don't become like me or their mom.
Do your children, like, look up to you or, like... How do they look at you, like?
My kids, I think they... Because I see a therapist. And my kids, same therapist. Because I go to DCFS, I'm trying to get custody of my kids. So they have me take drug classes, domestic violence classes. I did everything. So I have to take therapy once a month. And then once a month with my kids. And the therapist said, my kids, well, it seems like they're scared to disappoint me. To know that they failed. And I like that. I want them to come, you know. I don't want them to fear me. I want them to be scared of me. I want them to just feel bad if to point me, you know. As a parent, I don't, it's hard, man. It's hard. But I want the best for my kids, just like any other parent.
Would you like to teach them to not be like other people and judge by covers how you look, or?
My kids are Puerto Rican and black, and I'm Mexican and Jewish. Their grandmother, when the baby, he's not mine, he's black. This is always going to be a part of America, but I try to teach my kids none of that, you know. We're all God's children, and I just want to teach them, I don't care who my kids end up with, or as long as the person treats whoever my kids date or be with, treats them good and they live a good life, you know, that's all that matters to me.
I don't think there's a limit to the things you would do for your children, right?
No.
Are your kids good at school? Do they play sports?
My son's real good at sports. My 10-year-old, he's good. He excels in all sports. He's good. He's good at school. Good student too. AB student. My daughter, she's C average. My other one, like C average. But my boy, my 10-year-old, he's the one that excels in sports and does good in school. Well, does better than the other ones as far as grades.
Do you think your children are what really changed you and like pushed you to change your life?
Yeah, of course. They changed me. I used to be, I'll be honest, I used to be a heroin addict. I did drugs. You know, I was a gangbanger. It's a piece of garbage in a corner. You see it in the corner, game banging. I'm tattooed everywhere. I got teardrops. And that's not my life no more. I work and I live for my kids now.
Is there anything you would like to talk about that we didn't talk about?
People change, either for the good or for the bad. But, you know, when you see somebody on the streets and you see a drug addict and you look at them, you know, just think to yourself, you know, it might be you, it can be you, it can be your kid, it can be your dad, your mom. I don't judge nobody in the streets like that. You don't know what that person been through or what they're going through. You know, life's rough, and not all of us can handle it the same.
Are your children the thing you're most proud of in your life?
I want that to be. You know, my kids are still young. I want to be able to be like, oh yeah, you know, my kid's in college, you know, my kid does this, you know, my kid does that. Like I tell my kids, do something in life. Don't become like me and your mom. You know, people expect you to be garbage because you're my kid. You're a game banger's kid. You're my ex-wife's, you're Suli's kids. They don't expect nothing out of you. Prove these people wrong. And I tell my kids that. And I hope they do one day.
Thank you for taking your time and answering these questions.
Thank you. Do you think that one came out better or the first one?